Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jared Johnson, and 38-30 was the final. Number 13 Oregon came back to beat Texas Tech. The Red Raiders fall to 0-2, and needless to say, 0-2 is not the start everybody was hoping for or anticipating, but that's where Texas Tech finds itself. I'm not into moral victories, and I was expecting a moral victory. I think I predicted 41-31. It was 38-30. I think we saw more of the positives from Texas Tech, though. But ultimately, it is a loss. And I think I'm going to be brief with this. We're going to have more in our day after podcast. Joe and I, he'll have his Jaeger shots as well, which might be already posted by the time this is posted on Inside the Red Raiders, but too many turnovers. You can't be -4 in the turnover category and win really almost against anybody at any level, high school, college, certainly in the NFL. If you're -4 in the turnover department, you're almost certainly going to lose. The defense, they didn't create any turnovers. They weren't great in pass defense, but they weren't terrible. They were actually pretty good against the run. They held Oregon to under 4 yards per carry. But you're not getting anything from Miles Cole and Steve Linton off the edge in terms of a pass rush, and that's a big problem. And the injuries are starting to stack up. Tyreek Matthews was out. C.J. Baskerville, I believe, broke his hand in practice, and I don't know how long he's going to be out, but maybe he'll be back soon. But he did miss the game against Oregon. Of course, Jacob Rodriguez is already out. Isaac Smith, one of your top edge rushers, is out, and I think you could really use him right now. He's out for the season, so the injuries are starting to stack up on defense, and it's a little scary in terms of depth. Offensively, tackles are still a problem. Tyler Shuck was responsible for those 4 turnovers. Now, he did throw 3 touchdown passes, ran for over 100 yards. He ran a lot, and he was the leading rusher in terms of carries and yards. I mean, they ran him a lot early and often, and I mean, most of the time it was effective, but I know a lot of Texas Tech fans out there are clamoring for Baron Morton. I will say Shuck he looked a half a step slow in terms of his decision making in the game, and I think that was the reason for some of the turnovers. Taj Brooks only had, I believe, 6 carries, but he ran for 66 yards. I mean, I think that's 11 yards per carry. That's a pretty good average. I'd like to see him get the ball more, be featured a little bit more. I think he had 10 touches, 4 catches, 6 rushes. He should probably get more, but the running with Shuck worked. One of the big controversies was there's 2 coaching decisions. One was going for it for 2 when Tech was down 15-13. A lot of people call it chasing points, but they didn't get it. And then, even though I don't think that ended up having a big effect on the game, in the end it could have. And then going for it on 4th down at your own 33 early in the 4th quarter. It's 4th and 2. And I asked Coach McGuire about that in the post-game press conference, and he said, look, it was analytics that the book says the magic number says go, and so they went. So, I mean, I think with those analytics, last year some things really paid off for Texas Tech in terms of going for it on 4th down and following the rule book, the magic number in terms of analytics, and tonight it didn't work out. That hurt. Oregon was able to get a field goal, and I think a lot of people are going to point to that decision. Although I think really what hurt Texas Tech ultimately was the turnover difference. I mean, that's just, and that still falls. I'm not making excuses. That falls on Tyler Shuck. That falls on the coaching staff. I mean, it's still a reason to point the finger at them, if you will. I think Oregon made a lot of mistakes too. I think they had 5 drops. Tech had 4. A lot of penalties for the Ducks. But they're a good football team, and they were able to come back and win. So now Texas Tech has Tarleton State next week, a game obviously the Red Raiders should win before they open up Big 12 play at West Virginia. So you start looking down the line, they have to start winning ball games. Obviously, Tarleton State, I believe it will be. West Virginia, even though it's on the road, Tech has been really good here recently against the Mountaineers, and then you have Houston coming to town after that, and Tech also has been very good against them here recently. So Tech has to start stacking those wins. Those are 3 winnable games, but they got to get the first one starting with Tarleton State, and I don't know how much we're going to find out about the Red Raiders against the Tarleton State, but it'll be nice to get a W after 2 pretty bitter, tough, close losses. This whole program just needs some success, even though, again, we won't get a whole lot from that. But, 0-2. Red Raiders lost 38-30 to number 13 team in the country, Oregon. And, there's a lot they're going to have to fix moving forward, especially before they open up Big 12 play. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.